Hello and welcome to the Anime Madness live chapter react of One Piece, chapter 1090. Now, this is going to be interesting. So starting off, I'm here with Skeletony, as always.
Oh,
And just a slight heads up, this will be the last time we do a live stream of the live react. Due to schedule constraints, we will be moving to recorded. We will be recording them on Sundays, probably, of the chapters and uploading them on YouTube. We'll try to get them out like Monday or Tuesday. So the Madness upload on YouTube might be pushed back a day or two. But this will be the last live stream of it, but we will be recording it in live time reactions. Looking at the cover page, we get a reader request, a black cat, and Kuro quietly reading. So we get Captain Kuro, for the first time in the manga since Syrup Village.
wow.
It's been over 20 years since Kuro has had anything.
That's impressive. That Oda remembers how to draw him.
Yeah. And the title of this chapter is Kizaru, the Yellow Monkey. So, first things first, this is probably going to be Egghead Island incident. I don't think we're going to find out what happened to York and how the Straw Hats and Vegapunk got through that situation before the last panel of last video, of last chapter. I think it's just moving right along to the next part, and that's the arrival of Saint J. Garcia and Kizaru. With the
That's
100,
what I want to think.
with put this in perspective, a Buster Call is 10 ships with 3 vice admirals. There is an admiral, a Gorosei member, and 100 battleships. What do you call this? Island ending squad or something?
No clue.
Anyway, moving in. Oh, we get the classic Luffy going, "Hello, this is Monkey D. Luffy, the man who'll be king of the pirates," into the Den Mushi. And of course, the rest of the crew going, "What are you doing?" It looks like It looks like this is a transmission to the Gorosei still. He's saying we have Vegapunk, and if you value York's life, move all your ships away from the shore. And York is still screaming, "Help me!" Then we get a shot of how many ships are in this shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I'm
10,
pretty sure that's a Buster Call on its own.
12. There's 12 ships just in this one shot. And we cut to Admiral Kizaru with a shocked look on his face. Other Marines saying he's a monster, just as evil as the stories say. And then we cut to the World Economic Journal, where we haven't seen Vivi in a while. But we see Vivi and Wapple is still with Morgans. And it seems like Morgans has a black Denden Mushi.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, if you remember, the black Denden Mushi is the one that intercepts. You can intercept transmissions with a black Denden Mushi. And he's one, but it doesn't transmit your voice. It's only a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And he's confused on what's going on. He's completely shocked. Vivi's like, "Huh? Really? Luffy?" And then we cut to the Room of Authority with Saint Jupiter, Saint Marcus Mars, Saint Warcury, and what was the other? Venus Juro is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
The other 4 Gorosei. And they're asking if he is Straw Hat, and they're asking who's still alive.
Luffy giving them information.
Luffy's giving them information, and it's probably Nami that's screaming, "Luffy, no." It would make
Well,
most. It would make the most sense if it was Nami.
well, seeing as they say a woman's voice, and then they question Nico Robin, so
Yeah, but Nico Robin doesn't yell like that. That's Nami territory. So
I mean it could be, but also
I have a
with them being in
feeling.
this situation, it could be Robin still.
I have a feeling it is Nami that yells, but the Gorosei are more concerned with Robin, who's on the crew, because there's only two female members on the crew,
Mm,
and remember Nami's bounty isn't that high up. She's only like, I think after the events of Wano, she got a 300 million upgrade, so she was only like 300 and some million, like very low 300s.
mm.
Robin was, what was her post Wano bounty? I know it was higher. Bounty after Wano. Hers is 930 million.
Pretty good. Well, also okay. So it could be Nami saying it, but also if you look at the next panel, Robin is the one saying, "Don't hand your enemies weapons" to Luffy.
Yeah, but then Nami's also face palming.
Yeah, but I want to believe it's Robin because that Robin is telling him why you shouldn't say that.
And
That's why I feel that.
it looks like Saint Jupiter is trying to call them, or I wouldn't say he's the one that says a woman's voice, Nico Robin, and it seems like they're trying to call back that Den Den Mushi. They're trying to get it back in contact, and can't tell who it is, but they're hitting the transponder
Yeah,
tail to
someone's
hang it
pressing
up.
it. Yeah.
It could be Sanji or Zoro. I'm not sure because we only see Usopp, Luffy, Robin, and Nami in the page. And Luffy's apologizing, saying they're gonna move the ships now. Usopp's saying, yelling, "No, they won't. How dumb do you think the Navy is?" And then we cut over to Saint J. Garcia, who's on the one of the ships with Kizaru. And he's saying there's certain things that we must retain, and that's York and the Punk Records. And the power plant that creates the mother flame. Everything else is disposable.
Yeah. Showing just how little he thinks of everything.
And then we have a Marine officer saying, but Rob Lucci's group is in there, as well as other Cypher Pool. And Jay Garcia says, I speak of the worst case scenario, don't lose sight of our highest priorities. The Marine looks terrified as hell, and I can see why in the next panel we get a very, like, scary eye shot of Jay Garcia as he says, I think of human lives as nothing more than insects. They will always breed more to make up for any loss. Yo!
It's a pretty cold line right there.
Wow. Now we cut back to Punk Records, where York is still screaming and crying, asking if they realize what they've done, saying she has an agreement with the Five Elders. If you hurt me at all, this whole island will go up in smoke just like Ohara. No, I think it's going to be worse than Ohara.
Yeah, it definitely would be.
And then, oh, Nami hit her.
Mm-hmm.
And York's starting to tell on Nami to the Five Elders. What does Nami and the rest of the Straw Hats care? They've already created war with them.
Exactly.
And Nami angrily says, "Do it, make my day." Someone else is saying, "Who is that trying to stop Nami in that panel?" That's Zoro. So I'm guessing that's his speech bubble above Robin, saying, "Hey, whoa, she's unarmed."
Probably.
And Chopper's asking Robin if she feels okay. Robin looks beat up, though, like hell and back.
Mm-hmm.
I so wish we got like a flashback of like how things got to here.
Yeah.
Like, we still don't know how the hell they managed to take back control of the Seraphim, get York under, get York captured like this. We have no clue what's going on, like how that happened. And Robin says, "Yes, Chopper, thanks to you." And Chopper goes into his slight tsundere. Don't bother me, you jerk. Don't butter me up, you jerk.
Let's see that spread shot. We have Frankie standing in the very corner, very right
Yeah,
corner.
Frankie's in the foreground. York's on the
Brooke,
ground with Nami's climb attack in her face. Zoro's trying to pull Nami off.
Brooke is standing above it, just watching.
Jinbei's just sitting behind Zoro.
Yep. There's Robin and
Bonnie,
Chopper together.
Bonnie and
Bonnie.
Luffy are just eating away.
So I don't even know what Sanji's doing right next to them. I guess bringing them drinks or something.
Yeah, I think he's bringing Bonnie a drink. Vegapunk's just standing there, looking high off his ass like always.
Rob Lucci in the
He's
back.
chilling there. Kaku is. Wow, Kaku's really banged up. Which makes sense because it was Kaku and Zoro were facing the Mihawk Seraphim. Um, don't know what the hell Usopp's doing.
Usopp looks like he's nearby the transponder.
Yeah, so that might have been Usopp clicking the transponder stale. Lilith is holding Edison's head. So Edison did survive. So how many Vegapunks do we see here? We have York on the ground. We have Atlas is on the computer.
5 actually. Is it 5? It should be 5 only then.
Well, not including the Stella. The satellites. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Shaka is missing. And what the hell was the other one? But Edison is still alive somehow. Lilith is holding Edison. Shaka is still missing. Shaka got shot in the head by York. Who is the other satellite? I'm forgetting the other satellite. It's the other robot one.
I don't know all of them, so.
Pythagoras. Pythagoras has been. He's the one that had the the wind up toy thing on his head. He's not in this scene. Him and Shaka are the two that are missing.
Well, I think I know why. Panels below reveal that to us.
Well, I'm not on that panel yet because my Viz just freaking froze and I'm stuck zoomed in on that big panel.
Okay, well, I'll say what it says underneath. So after we read through that entire big panel, it says 4 seriously wounded, 2 Vegapunks dead, the Straw Hats are. That's just Lucci talking to himself.
Okay, I'm back. So I only read the first half of dialogue. So just look at the state of me, but remember I was up against 2 Seraphim. Lucci tells him to just go back to sleep. So Lilith is screaming Shaka, Pythagoras, Edison. And then I guess Edison taps her or something. And then she goes, Edison's still... Or no. Who's this?
Someone tells Lilith.
It's either Atlas or Usopp that says it. I can't tell who the speech bubble belongs to.
I want to think it's...
I want to think it's Atlas because Usopp has one at the bottom. Usopp has one at the bottom. Lilith, would you pipe down? I'm getting in touch with the basement.
Yeah, I guess.
So I want to say it's Atlas that's saying that. It's a lot happening in one panel. But yeah, we see Lilith calms down a little bit while holding Edison. But yeah, we have Kaku talking, or Lucci just talking. 4 seriously wounded, 2 Vegapunks dead, and the Straw Hats are. Kaku asks what's up. He says I'm talking to myself. What was he gonna say about the Straw Hats?
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Oda, come on. What was Lucci gonna say? Lucci has had a vendetta against Luffy for 2 years. And he had to team up with Luffy just to survive. And now he still has to team up with him because Jay Garcia doesn't give a shit about their lives. You know who else we don't see?
Oh.
Stussy.
Oh yeah, we don't.
We don't see Stussy at all. And we know Stussy is loyal to Vegapunk. Huh. Moving on, we get more of a lot happening. Usopp gets in touch with the basement. Are you guys behaving down there? And we cut to the Labos phase base. Labos, that's a translation error. It's not Labos phase, it's Labos sphere. Basement. And I'm guessing this is the other CP agents? Yeah, the black suits. So this is CP 5, CP 7, and CP 8. They're thanking the Straw Hats. They're their saviors. Not so loud. They're our enemies, or some of them are saying, I feel alive again. No, just let us out of here. Sorry, can't do that. It makes sense. They can't do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Can we at least get a change of scenery? It's kind of freaky with them right over there. Because, so they're inside the prison bubbles. The Seraphims. Yeah. Well, the Seraphims are on our side. Yeah, but what if they go haywire? They're safe, right, Vegapunk? Of course, those bubble balls are made of the same material as Pacifista MK3's bubble shields. Okay, that's huge. Sea energy is incorporated into the materials, making it the perfect weapon for trapping power users. We get Jinbei Seraphin's just quiet. He's just like... He's like Jinbei. He's just like, well, nothing I can do about it.
Yep.
Mihawk Seraphim is ticked off. How dare you trap me in this thing? Robbins is just... Or not Robbins. Boa Hancock's is just like, aw. Like trying to make us feel sorry for her.
And then there's just Pumas. Just chilling.
Oh, that's good to know. Thought they were just bubbles. Okay, that's one of the CP agents.
Yep. And
yeah, Kuma's another one is just chilling. So somehow they got him in bubbles. But that still doesn't explain how Frankie's not stone, Lilith's not stone, and Nami's not stone. Because a Snake would have had to deactivate her power on them. Because that's how the Love Fruit works.
Hmm.
From what we know and what Boa Hancock said, now Boa Hancock could be talking out her ass. But according to Boa Hancock, if she turned someone to stone, died, and someone else got the Love Fruit, that person that Boa turned to stone, the new Love Fruit user cannot turn back. Only the person that did turn them to stone. If that's true, S-Snake had to unturn them from stone, unless Vegapunk has created some way to cure that.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past
because
Vegapunk
it's artificial.
to do that.
Yeah, because S-Snake has an artificial version that Vegapunk created.
Also, with it being that he's harnessed already the power of sea energy into the bubbles. That maybe once they're in the bubble,
it's basically like a sea stone bubble.
Yeah.
Or sea prism stone bubble.
So maybe with him being able to infuse that into the bubbles, he can just somehow just use its energy like some sort of way besides that.
Maybe. And then we have S-Snake going, you can rest assured we have not yet received any orders to kill you. We have no interest in you. Who is she talking about?
She's saying...
Oh, the other CP agents.
Yeah.
And then Oh wow, Frankie took on Pythagoras' look.
Yep.
And Frankie says, be that as it may, I'm grateful to you, S Snake. You released us from your stone powers. So she did release him.
Yeah.
She did release them. Strange that shouldn't be part of her programming.
Oh my
Vegapunk
god, I
says.
see why. Oh my god, the next part will
Oh
show you
no!
why.
Tekken called it. Tekken called it. Tekken said when when S Snake got introduced, as soon as she meets Luffy, she's gonna fall just like the real Boa did. Yeah, so we get a flashback of how they got released, which okay, cool. We're getting some information on how stuff went down. And
and Jinbei's laughing at that too. That's awesome.
S Hawk saw Luffy, and Luffy goes, "Hey, Hancock, they're my friends. Please, you gotta undo it. You're the only one who can save them. Please." And then, as Snake says, "All right, I'll do it. Just stop looking right at me," all blushed and embarrassed. Ugh. See, that was York's fatal flaw. She didn't have the information that Hancock was extremely in love with Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Jinbei is laughing his ass off. Even the actual Hancock, a real nasty piece of work, can't turn down a request from Luffy. How funny that her Seraphim is the same way.
And then there's just Vegapunk.
Vegapunk, yeah, he's writing it down. Yes, that information transmitted through the bloodline element. So it's because of the genes, the way the genome works in One Piece. Hence, that's probably why Mihawk Seraphim, S Hawk sought out Zoro right away, as soon as the incident started with them. And then we get the monitor with Luffy saying thanks for that, Hancock, and she's blushing and getting embarrassed again. And she thinks that he just said he's in love with me. And now we have Stella saying that they restored communications, but the Frontier Dome still won't open. So York had to do something with the Frontier Dome, which I'm sure we'll find out in the next couple panels. As Vegapunk goes, we can't escape without the barrier receding. And York, we do get a panel of York saying it's pointless, there's an encryption code on it, and my brain isn't synced to all of yours, so they won't get it from... So she removed herself from Punk Records?
Somehow removed herself.
She's no longer connected to Punk Records, which means she's technically she's not a satellite anymore. She's just York. She's just York the android. Or cyborg, but more likely android because she's like an artificial.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just York the android. She's no longer York the satellite. Then we get Lilith, of course, embracing her evil with her rage. Oh yeah, we'll see about that. And York says, I'm under the protection of the code and the world. And the world itself? What the hell does she mean by the world?
That could be because she has her alliance or protection from the Gorosei.
But do you really think? I know we got last chapter where the Gorosei said they were going to make her a celestial dragon. Do you really think the Gorosei was going to keep their word on that?
Well, I mean, with Jupiter saying in the beginning of it, the three priorities were Punk Records, York, and something else. I would assume so.
But that was also over to Denden Mushi. That could have been a front.
He wasn't saying that. No, he was saying that to the Marine. He was saying that to not the nameless Marine. I don't think he was nameless at least, but he was saying that to the Marine.
Was that after the transmission cut out?
Yeah.
Okay. But here's another thing. They did say all the Stellas were going to die. They kill all Stellas. They kill them all. All Vegapunks. That was an order given by I believe Jay Garcia. I don't think they ever intended to make her a celestial dragon.
Maybe not. I don't know.
That doesn't seem like something the world government would do, especially because Yeah, she tattled on the Stella for the Void Century research, but she was connected to Punk Records. She has that knowledge as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't until after that when she disconnected, I'm guessing. I'm thinking she disconnected from Punk Records right before all this stuff went down. Like, that was the first part of all this stuff that she planned out. That was the first part, and she didn't do it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get... Oh, there's Stussy.
Yep.
We're completely surrounded on all sides, Stella. There are 100 ships of various sizes, about 30,000 men. Just to put that in perspective, if anyone's caught up with Bleach, we're going to veer off the Bleach a little bit. Do you know the full size of the Skeletony's fighting force?
Huh? You cut out the middle of that.
Do you know the full size of the Skeletony's fighting force?
No.
It's roughly 3,000 men.
Oh, jeez.
This is 10 times that. That's just going to Egghead.
Yeah, but didn't Luffy have his conquerors like knock out 50,000 or
Yes,
something? Yeah.
which one sprint of Luffy's Conqueror's Hockey will probably take out probably 90% of this fleet.
Absolutely, because they're probably a majority of them are most definitely
Mm,
going to be the
Actually,
members.
I think the only people Luffy might not be able to take down, because remember in Film Red, Shanks took down some vice admirals with his Conqueror's Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And Shanks definitely has higher Conqueror's Hockey than Luffy, but from what we know of the vice admirals that are part of this huge fleet, I don't think any of the vice admirals are staying standing from Luffy's Conquerors.
Probably not.
So the only two people that would be left standing is Kizaru and Jay Garcia. Because I have a feeling all of the Gorosei members have extremely strong hockey. Especially Conquerors. So that does ponder the question. They should be able to easily take care of 99% of this fleet. Because even Zoro's Conqueror's Hockey is probably strong enough to take care of the majority of the fleet.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Stella saying this is quite an ordeal then. Sanji going simp mode for Stussy, of course. Welcome back, Miss Stussy. Would you like a coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Then Vegapunk starts talking to Nami. You're the navigator. And Nami goes, yep, that's me. And the log post hasn't recorded the signal yet, but we still have one steady needle from Wano we can use. So they can still go back. No, they won't go back to Wano. This is... Okay, now I see why stuff was going around that the Elbaf arc might start on chapter 1100.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nami says it's pointing northeast of here, and Vegapunk confirms that would be Elbath. Luffy screams Elbath, because Luffy knows Elbath is Shanks' territory, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Luffy might know that. He might not. And then Usopp, of course, is stoked. We're finally going. The Isle of Giants at last. And then Luffy and in the next panel, Luffy and Usopp are dancing and singing Elbath, Elbath. Everyone is huge because they're giants. I can't wait to hear that in the anime, especially with Mayumi, Luffy's Japanese voice actor, because the way she does Luffy's goofy singing is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Stussy tells Lucci, don't give me that look. It's hard to make out what type of look he's giving her. Even zoomed in, you can't really tell. You can see Oda's pen work is a little sloppy on Lucci on that one. Nothing against Oda. Nothing against Oda as well. Nothing at all. But I did realize that even on that the real big panel with the whole group minus like Stussy and the other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right before Lucci had his monologue, if you look, you can see Kaku was a little weak line work. Same with Sanji. There's nothing against Oda. His art is still phenomenal.
Well, I mean, think how far are they in the background?
Yeah, he's pretty far back there in this one, and it's very hard to draw facial features that small.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Vegapunk. Unfortunately, your ship is currently here at the Labosphere. They still have the translation error. They're all they're missing is the S. They're missing the S after the O, and instead of the S before the E, it should be an R. So they got two letters messed up. And I mean, it happens. Not everything perfectly translates.
Mm-hmm.
But the Navy ships are waiting along every bit of the coastline. We can't leave via the port. The northeast direction we'd be heading is on the backside of the island. Good thing that your ship is with Vega Force 1. So the ship is with the big robot that Lilith was piloting. He also says we can use the Vega Force 1 to simply fly over the Navy's blockade, ideally, but the robot can only fly in the airspace over Egghead. Once you leave it, it will fall to the earth. Frankie, of course, Kuda burst. Can fling you a kilometer away. No problem.
That ship can fly a whole kilometer.
Yeah, no problem. We can just use the Sunny's Kude burst to fly even farther. If we fly a kilometer away, none of them will be able to catch us. And Vegapunk is going like, what? That ship can fly a whole kilometer? Hell, let's do that. It flies on Kola. On Kola? Vegapunk is so ecstatic. This is what I was.
The reactions right
this is what I was hoping for out of Egghead was Vegapunk and Frankie, like working together with ideas and stuff. This was what I was hoping for. Was these type of interactions. This is Frankie's dreamland.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas goes perfect, but we still need to deactivate the frontier dump first. And York is being cocky again, saying that she won't tell the code. And yep, let's crack this thing as Vegapunk goes into like hacker mode. Where do you see Nami hit her?
No, I said Nami, please hit her again.
Oh, we might get that on the next page. Edison never play mind games with Vegapunk, is what Edison says. Look at the scared look on Atlas's face, though.
Yeah. Well, I think that's more of like
that looks scared compared to the way her determined look was earlier in the arc. It's more of a
half her face is covered with
true
text, so
because Edison's screaming. And we have a flashback of a random single panel flashback of Vegapunk saying, Lilith, I want you to use Vega Force 1 to ... And you can tell it's see, it's hard to tell if that's a flashback panel or not because it has the striping on the all around the speech bubble like it is a flashback. It's weird unless he's like transmitting it. But that wouldn't make sense.
Actually, after we hear Vegapunk talk to Frankie and we skip to the next set of panels on the previous page, none of the Straw Hats are there.
Oh, you're right. It's literally so York is not gonna get a smack on the head.
Unfortunately, but
yeah, it's just York. Whatever that bag is right below the automatopoeia. Then Stella, Edison, and Atlas.
Yeah. So that would make sense if that was like him telling them, "Hey, go," and we just see that.
And then the next panels we get, it looks like it's Lilith, Luffy, and Bonnie with Frankie behind them. Let's move to the ship around. Let's go move the ship around back. We got our hurry. The barrier could come down at any moment. Good point. It means we can escape, but also that the enemy can attack us. Then we get Lilith saying, "I'll admit it. This is my first time ever leaving the island. This is probably probably true for all the satellites."
Oh, probably. And then there's just Frankie turning. It's not a field trip.
And Luffy goes, "Whatever it is, we don't have enough food on board." Remember this: the satellites don't eat. York did all the eating for them. Bonnie goes, "I agree. We'd eat it all in a day. I suggest more pizzas." This is bad.
To make it into pizza on his own.
This is bad. There's going to be 3 major gluttons on board. York of Gluttony, because that's her satellite designation is Gluttony. Luffy, and the gluttonous captain Jewelry Bonnie.
Yeah.
Luffy says cheese is enough. Sanji can make it into pizza on his own. Luffy has such high hopes for, like, such high expectations of Sanji. Like, he can make food out of anything. Give him anything, and boom, there's gonna be food.
I mean, he's not wrong, though.
He's not wrong, but, like, it seems like Luffy thinks you give Sanji leather and he can make it into something edible.
I swear to God, Sanji could, though.
Then Bonnie goes, "He's pretty cool, huh? A good cook and a good fighter."
Cool, huh? A good cook and a good fighter. From Bonnie, Luffy saying, "Why are you so cheerful all of a sudden?" It's weird.
I don't like doing ships, especially in One Piece, with the exception of like Luffy Hancock, Luffy Nami.
Come
like,
on.
That
well,
fight.
The fact that Oda said there's no inner Straw Hat romance, it's definitely gonna be Sanji and Bonnie. Because
Sanji and Bonnie makes sense. And I think that there would be only 1 or maybe 2 inner Straw Hat romances. And it's still possible that they could happen. The one especially, that's Luffy Nami.
Yeah.
But the other one that I would love to see is Frankie Robin.
You want Frankie Robin?
Frankie Robin, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna do Jinbei Robin because Robin looks at Jinbei as like the boss. Like she even calls Jinbei boss.
Why not Zoro Robin so they could be Chopper's parents?
Because I have a feeling it's gonna be Zoro Tashigi.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
When it comes to Sanji, though, I have a feeling he's going to go back for Pudding.
Because Sanji hits on everybody, so.
But I have a feeling he's going to go back for Pudding.
He could. I could very easily see Sanji doing that.
When they were making the wedding cake for Big Mom during the escape of Whole Cake Island, Sanji actually showed real emotion, not like his simp mode. It was like real emotion towards Pudding.
Yeah, I think out of all of the people Sanji has been nearby,
Pudding makes the most sense.
Pudding is the one probably he has the most genuine feeling for.
Chopper, I'm not going there.
Chopper's a legit child.
He
just needs 16. Robin to be his mom. That's it.
He's 16.
Yeah, well, guess what? In One Piece, that makes him a child.
Well, no, because he can join the Marines at 16.
Never mind then. Okay. Anyway, he just needs not Chopper. He just needs Robin to be his mom. That's all he needs.
And outside of Robin, I can't see Frankie with anyone else.
Not really.
Jinbei is probably going to stay single.
That's Jinbei.
Brook is staying single.
Yeah, Brook is a skeleton.
Yo ho 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 ho. Yes, I'm doing it.
There it is.
Who else on the crew am I forgetting?
Well,
if Luffy does go with Hancock, Nami.
You cut out there.
If Luffy goes with Hancock.
Yeah.
Nami. I don't know who Nami would be with.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But that's the biggest one. That's like, I don't really know how that's gonna play. Like Luffy, Nami, Luffy, Hancock. But Sanji and Bonnie's definitely gonna be, Bonnie wants to be with Sanji. But depending on how things play out with Bonnie, I have a feeling Sanji's gonna go with Pudding.
which is
But
also really good because
then
he almost
again, Oda doesn't want to do romance in his story. Really, he really doesn't want to go
yeah.
into those themes. Now we probably will. He probably will
No,
decide relationship pairings, and we'll get like an epilogue or something.
well, yeah, I was thinking like once the story's over, he can just be like, okay, a couple years passed, these people got together, and like
Like just like a
it makes
special
sense.
epilogue chapter,
Yeah, like this is the future of the Straw Hats.
depending on how the story ends too.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, for all the Straw Hats except for Jinbei, we've gotten a good timeline, 40 years old, 60 years old, and a bad timeline, 40 years old, 60
Mm-hmm.
years old, for all the Straw Hats besides Jinbei and Brook. So I know we've gone through Frankie. I don't think we've gotten Brook or Jinbei.
Hmm. Okay.
Next panel after Luffy calls Bonnie weird. She says that she decided she won't kill Vegapunk anymore, and that's, I'm guessing, because of what she saw in Kuma's memories.
I guess crying on that really helped you feel better, huh?
Well, she went into Kuma's memory bubble,
Well, yeah,
which I still want to know what was in there.
that would be very interesting to see.
Like,
But I just love Luffy's on that.
why was he called the Tyrant King? But for some reason, it seems the people loved him. And according to Bonnie, the people of the kingdom, like, they loved Kuma, and they didn't want to see him go. Like, what ended up happening? What pushed Kuma to join the revolutionaries? What pushed Kuma to volunteer to Vegapunk for this operation? I remember Kuma knew Vegapunk before Vegapunk was part of the world government,
Mm-hmm.
and that was through Dragon. And what is Jewelry Bonnie's name? Jewelry Bonnie Kuma,
Yeah, that's interesting.
or was her mother's last name Bonnie, and she took it to where they couldn't link her to Kuma? That's another thing. Like,
Mm.
and what the hell did her mother look like? Because she has no characteristics from Kuma unless she was adopted. She was another orphan of the One Piece world. And I mean, if you think about it, Sanji is the only Straw Hat that wasn't an orphan. I mean, technically Luffy wasn't, but Garp did kind of just throw him at the Don. Zoro's parents died at a young age when he was like, I think he was 4 when his mother passed away. Usopp was a his dad went out to sea, his mother died, he was orphaned basically. Sanji still has his dad, but he doesn't associate with him, and then he had Zeph, so he's technically not an orphan. Chopper was discarded and became an orphan, and then came under Hurlook.
Mm-hmm.
Nami was an orphan, which that's another thing too. What ocean did Bellemere find Nojiko and Nami? That was the West Blue, wasn't it?
I think maybe I don't know. It's been a while.
It's bringing up a company called Nami. East Blue, the Konami Islands. So we don't know her real family heritage either,
Mm-hmm.
but we do know she was an orphan. Um, Brooke, we have no clue if he was an orphan or not. Jinbei was an orphan in the Fishman District. Frankie was technically an orphan. Frankie was abandoned by his parents were pirates who abandoned him on Water 7. Tom took him in, and then Tom passed. Tom was executed by the world government.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, he was an orphan after Tom passed. But he was orphaned, taken in, orphaned again. So Frankie's had it rough.
Yeah.
And Robin, of course, became an orphan after the incident of O'Hara. So yeah, pretty much the entire crew are orphans. There's a couple that, like, technically Sanji isn't, technically Luffy isn't, and then we don't know about Brooke.
Yeah.
So Bonnie could be an orphan. With that said, we cut over to the waters outside of Egghead with a transmission from Rob Lucci. And he's not in the control center, and he's not with Luffy, Bonnie, Lilith, or Frankie. We don't know where Nami, Sanji, Zoro, Chopper. We don't know where they went.
We don't know where everyone else is. We know where Frankie.
We don't know where
Bonnie,
Kaku, Stussy, or Lucci are. So they're getting a transmission from Lucci, and that's going to the mothership of the fleet. We got details on what's happening on the inside. Share this with all ships. Then we cut to St. J. Garcia Saturn's chambers. Did you hear that Borsalino? So Borsalino being his real name. Kizaru is his admiral code.
Mm-hmm.
And Kizaru says, I did. He talked a big game like he was in control, but it seems like they're all actually trapped inside. So I think Lucci is still working with the Straw Hats and Vegapunk. I think because of them saying that they'll kill everyone, and even Lucci is part of that, I think he's starting to have some discontent with the world government. Which is weird because Lucci was another orphan who was taken in by the world government to become a assassin in the CPs.
Yeah, but even just because you're given a home, if they use you, you're gonna grow discontent with it.
Yeah, and now we have Saturn asking Kizaru, the Frontier Dome is a laser defense system, correct? And you are light. Can you get inside? And Kizaru says he can.
But a good friend of mine is defending Vegapunk below it.
What? Oh, Sentamaru.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear something about this chapter. Apparently, Sentamaru and Kizaru have a past together after Vegapunk took Sentamaru in. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sentamaru. And so Saturn says to leap over him. Kizaru says, well, that's not a very important thing to do when a man is making a principled stand like that. I'd prefer to play this one by the book. And you should know that when we attack, it will mean that countless sea beast weapons and 50 pacifistas under Sentamaru's command will start sinking our ships in response. There's going to be a heavy cost to this. Saturn looks infuriated. Time is of the essence. Where's the power plant? Kizaru says Rob Lucci is a very capable agent. He sent all of the information I wanted to know. So Rob Lucci is still working with the world government. We have all the marine ships preparing for battle. And we see 4 of the vice admirals that are in this fleet. I don't know any of their names. The one with the big teeth, I can't remember who he is.
I remember none of them.
I can't remember his name, but he's the one that looks familiar. Same with the first one, the big heavyset guy with the big beard. He's shown up before. He was actually at O'Hara, I believe.
Yeah. Then we have this weird, like, shriveled onion lady.
Yeah, and it's not it's not Sudu.
Like...
I don't know who that one is. But these are
And this guy
all.
that's got like 5 necks or 5. He looks like a character that came straight out of Chowder.
But these are 4 of the vice admirals that are part of this, which is weird that they're not showing the dominatrix one from G14.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. Doll. Her name was Doll. Because we know Doll is part of this. Doll refused Garp because Doll was part of this fleet. It's weird that he's not showing Doll. But maybe he's trying to get the other vice admirals some screen time.
Or what he's doing is he's showing that these 4 are all going to die because of the pacifistas, and that
I have a feeling
the ones that haven't been mentioned yet are going to be more.
when this gets animated, there's going to be added scenes of other, more of the vice admirals.
Could be, yeah.
But we have the first one, the bearded one, heavyset bearded dude. If you can use the 6 powers, make for land when the battle starts. The old lady saying, liberate the captive Cyberpol agents. Chin Master saying, our cannons are worthless against the pacifistas. Use them on the Sea Beast weapons. And then the last one doesn't say anything. Now we have Luffy being Luffy. Because the cloud ground. And Frankie's yelling at him to take it seriously. Bonnie says, look, there's the Sunny, and Lilith is heading straight for Vega Force 1. This is a short chapter, too, but there's so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I saw the page count, I was like, oh, okay, this will be probably like a 20-30 minute video like last week's My Hero. Granted, we did get off topic a couple times, but it was prevalent.
Yeah.
And we're almost at an hour for this one. Now we have Kizaru charging up an attack, Sacred Yata Mirror. Now we did see him use this before.
Mm-hmm.
He used it on Sabaody Archipelago pre-time skip. And this is his fast travel. This is how he travels fast. So he's traveling fast, and then we have Sentomaru saying, you're finally here, old man. And he's giving the pacifistas the order to eliminate all hostiles. And now we have Kizaru coming up to do a kick against Sentomaru. And Sentomaru saying, my defense is the world's greatest. And when did Sentomaru learn hockey? Because that's the only way you're blocking this, is with armament hockey.
He Vegapunk injected hockey into his veins.
When did we learn that?
No,
is that a headcanon?
That's just me being silly.
Oh yeah, you know what headcanon means, right?
Yeah, but headcanon can be a serious thing too.
Yeah, but that's you having a headcanon.
Yeah. We'll say my goofy headcanon is.
But I have a feeling when we get Return to Sabaody,
hockey can be injected into your veins.
Well, when we get the Return to Sabaody Archipelago and Luffy uses hockey against the pacifista, like he uses observation to dodge the lasers. Mm-hmm. Sentomaru does say, is he using hockey? So Sentomaru knows what hockey is. So I wouldn't put it past Sentomaru for having like basic observation and armament.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then we get Luffy saying, light from below, someone's here, someone's strong. And that is a terrified look on Luffy's face.
He's shivering.
Yeah, there's a shiver onomatopoeia as well. And with that, we get to be continued.
Great chapter. Absolutely fantastic.
Break week next week. So we got the 5-week break from Oda's surgery. Chapter, break, chapter, break.
This could be a case of Oda had the 4 weeks, but unforeseen things happened, but he doesn't want to stop, so he's just been taking it slow. Plus, also last week was a holiday, so.
Last week was the I can't remember the name of it. It was a festival last week,
Hmm.
but we do have a break week next week. Um, but it is confirmed 13 days for the next chapter. Wow, we got some information of what happened on Egghead. We know how they tamed S Snake,
Yeah.
but that's still like that's not enough to get the explanation of how we got to the panel at the end of chapter 1089.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's the live chapter react. The final live react for One Piece. Like I said, they will still be genuine first time reactions. We're not gonna bullshit y'all.
Yeah.
They will just be recorded and uploaded instead of live streamed due to schedule constraints. We don't do this full time. We do have jobs on top of this. So, due to schedule constraints with our jobs and schooling and whatnot, um, it, during the school years, it makes it a little bit harder for us to do weekday streams. But we will be recording our live January reactions, and the same thing's gonna happen with My Hero. But it will be our live January reactions still. It's just you won't see it here on Twitch anymore for a little bit of time. There might probably next June, depending. Um, we might be able to go back to live streaming them. But yeah, that was the live react. Join us Wednesday, where me, Tony, and Taco will be live reacting to My Hero Chapter 397. Very excited for that because of what happened last chapter.
Hmm.
Saturday, we will be doing our ranking the quirks from My Hero Part 2. And Sunday, we have episode 2 of season 2 with action anime, I believe, is the genre for that episode. Which I have to get the list into the Discord. And with that said, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the links in the Discord, links in the description. Join our Discord. We've got our reference code in there to get 5% off Rogue at checkout. Join the Rogue Nation. We have the Twitch down there. If you don't follow our Twitch and you're only on our YouTube, mine and Tony's Twitters will be down there. And if you want to follow the other people's Twitters, or if you want to follow Taco's Twitter, if you want to follow Kush's Twitch, if you want to follow Cope's Twitch and Twitter, if you want to follow Sage's Twitter, all that will be in the description of our main series, the Anime Madness. The brackets will be in the description of that. And the next episode of like this, since it's a break week next week, we'll be recording we'll probably be recording a little precursor to One Piece live action due to us getting another video from Netflix with a little more behind the scenes stuff,
Hmm.
and probably going over the Q&A that the cast did with Weird, which I've seen some clips of it, and some of the stuff that happens in it is hilarious. But with that said, we hope to see you Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is all. Any last words?
No.
Well, I gotta say it since Kush isn't here, but stay humble, get rumbled. And we will see you for MHA on Wednesday. Have a good night.
Bye bye.